Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Money Hungry Mama podcast. I am so excited because I have Tova here today. Tova, take it away.
Hi, everybody.
So excited. So excited. So, Tova, tell us, what is your business?
Okay, so I own an educational theater company called Fresh Theater Arts. And what we do is we outsource professional performing arts programs to different institutions. So we partner with community centers, churches, temples, private schools, public schools, anybody that wants a performing arts program. And we come in with our professional teaching artist team and we run programs with communities. And we like to build programs based on the community needs. And so no two programs are the same. And yeah, it's really exciting. We just bring the joy.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I understand better. So, okay, where I live, they have a theater. It's called Spring Lake Theater.
Mm.
They do a production like every 6 months. Is it something like that? Like you come in and put on a show, or is it like
All of the above. So we
okay.
will come in, some places will contract us for our production residency, which is in the course of 8 to 12 weeks. We'll come in and do a full scale production. For example, one of our partner programs is the Highland Park Youth Theater Company. And so that we do 3 junior musicals a year. We
Oh,
get
wow.
about 50 kids in each show with a wait list sometimes of like 20 kids. And we'll put on a musical in 8 weeks, full scale musical. Other programs we'll provide choreographers, let's say, for high school drama clubs, or we'll run dance classes in an after school setting. We also have partnerships with Broadway artists. So we bring them in from New York City and we partner with schools. And one of my besties, Thane Jasperson, who is in Hamilton, he's from the original company of Hamilton. So we do a lot of Hamilton programs in the different communities that we're in. And yeah, so yes, we go in and we do shows and then more and then more and then more. So
My gosh. So, like, in my mind, I'm like, really? Because, okay, first off, you have to have a theater background.
yes.
Okay. So, tell us about that.
Okay, so I grew up in Miami doing community theater as a theater kid, which everybody should hire theater kids because they can do everything.
Love it.
And I did community theater growing up. And then after I graduated high school, I went to a musical theater conservatory for a year in Miami, and then went to Rutgers University for college. And that was me moving out of Miami and getting stuck
Yeah.
East because while I was at Rutgers, I met my husband and he's from New Jersey. And so we kind of got stuck here. Yay, Jersey, but Miami's really nice too. And then after I graduated from college, I actually wanted nothing to do with theater. I felt really burnt out from the experience. And so I moved home to Miami for a year and I worked at a modeling and talent agency, which was so fun, like working on South Beach with all these really pretty people and going, "Do you need coffee? You need coffee." It was great. And then I was over that. So I moved to New York City and I worked for a Broadway producer for a couple of years. I wanted to try the Broadway experience. And the company that I worked for was Richard Frankel Productions. And they were mounting Hairspray on Broadway at the time and Young Frankenstein and Stomp. And so I I like to say it's like the Devil Wears Prada for Broadway because you come in as an intern and work your way up. But I learned so much from that experience and kind of learned how to run a business, like all of the back end side of performing arts. And then I was like, okay, this was fun. What's next? And so I applied to graduate school at NYU and got my master's in educational theater at NYU. And that was really fun. And then I don't know if we're like going off
Yeah.
tangent a
No,
little bit.
you're good. Keep going. I want to hear it.
So my first job out of graduate school, I was the youth performing arts director at a regional theater in New Jersey, and I was like, "This is all I want to do. This is where I want to be. I want to work with kids. I want to direct." And then I had my first child, and they gave me 8 weeks maternity leave, but
Yeah.
because it was my first child and all my family's in Miami, and I didn't really have that kind of support system after the 8 weeks, they were like, "So are you coming back?" And I was like, "I just feel like I don't know what to do with this kid. Like, how do I come back? I don't know." And they were like, "Well, if you don't come back on Monday, you're fired." And this is like 15, 16 years ago. And I know so much
Gosh.
more now than I did then. And then I was just like, okay, I had my first job and I lost my first job all in the course of 2 years. And so that was really that took me back a few steps because I was like, I really know what I'm doing. I don't understand why I can't do both things well.
Yeah.
Even if I don't like, I feel like that's the struggle, right? I'm really good at my job or I'm really good at being a mom, but I can't do those two things at the same time. It's hard, right? So I stayed home for a year with my cute little baby who I tried to get her to sing and dance and she was really not into it. She wanted to throw a ball. I was like, of course. And then I started working in after school programs because I couldn't get a job. Nobody would hire me. And then as I started to build in after school programs, I was like, oh, people actually need this. They need people to come in after school and essentially provide what they can't provide during the day in terms of performing arts programming. And it started to build and build. And I was like, oh wow, there's actually a need for this. Let me hire some people. And so I hired a couple of my friends and we started doing it together. And that's kind of where the business came from. And now I've got like 15 teaching artists that work for me on a rotating basis, and we're in a bunch of different communities. So what's nice about it is that like I would say that wasn't the lowest point in my life, but it was definitely up there with I thought things were going to go a certain way and it was very confusing as to why it couldn't work. But I tend to live in a universe where people tell me no a lot. And I don't take that. I kind of go, great, let's improv this. Yes. And so you say no, and I say, we're not stopping there. Let's try this. And so I kind of have always been the kind of person to create my own opportunity. And that's kind of where my business came from people telling me no. So thank you, whoever fired me.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so my mind right now, I want to go back to a couple things. So the first thing I want to go back to is right there. That moment of and every single person listening to this podcast, I know that they felt that moment too where it's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm tearing up even thinking about it." Like you're in your dream career, right? And it's like, "Okay, like this is going to be where I'm going to stay. This is going to be where I take off." And then all of a sudden you look down and you see that little human that you created. And it's like, what do I do?
Yeah.
What do I do? Like, do I choose this little human or do I choose this dream career? And I think that is a pivotal moment for so many of us money hungry mamas because that is the moment that the light switch goes on. And it's like, okay, I could still get my dream career, but I'm going to have to figure it out on my own. And it's like, it is such a wild ride because I feel like so many of us started in that moment of that decision. But look what happened. So, like, yes, thank you to the doors that opened in your past because those taught you the doors that are now opening in your future, right? Like learning all of the back end stuff that you did, being the coffee person, even at the modeling agency, like, all of those things are such unique jobs to somebody who's like me, right? Because I've been in teaching my whole entire life. Like, I can't imagine working on Broadway. Like, in my mind, I'm like, how did she even get that job?
Right.
And it's just such a crazy thought because all of those things, like we talk about it all the time in this podcast, like our experiences lead us down a road that's not just linear. It's like, oh, let's turn left, turn right, go. You know what I mean? Like, yes, being a mom is literally the most incredible thing in the whole entire world, but we all have a passion and a purpose besides that we want to do as well. And oh my gosh. Okay. So now you did this, right? And you're like, okay, I'm not going to answer for you. Would you consider this still your dream business?
Oh, yeah. And like, even what you were saying before about, I feel like I'm constantly having those moments. Like, thank God I have 3 kids, right?
Mhm.
Like, my youngest was not necessarily planned for, right? And so my business was headed and I love her and she's meant to be here, but I treat everything kind of like if I can't have tunnel vision, right? Like my eyes have to be open to opportunities. And the truth is, that's what I teach my students, right? Like life's going to give you challenges. It's not the challenge that defines you, it's what you do after that moment that matters. And so it was a pivotal moment for me 16 years ago to get fired from that job and like figure out. But I feel like I'm constantly in that moment, right? Of like, because a client will resign, or I'll tell you, this is dedication, right? And it's dumb. I would not recommend this, but I was in the middle of a show when I had my youngest. I had a C-section. It was a planned C-section, and I had a show in 2 weeks. And so after the C-section, 10 days later, my dad was wheelchairing me to work because I couldn't, and it's like I needed to show up, and everybody was like, wow, you're really doing this. Think back on it. I'm like, that was so stupid, but again, it's that idea of push, right? Like and I think that that comes from when you love what you do,
Mhm.
gonna figure it out. It's gonna be messy and it's gonna be complicated, and I think that at the end of the day, I'm just trying to be a role model for my kids and find that balance. So yeah, I do, to answer your question, like I do still feel like I'm in my dream job. What I love about it is that it's never this every day's different.
Mhm.
It's not the same thing every day. I think I'd get bored if I were sitting in an office just, doing the same thing. And I love meeting people and I love hearing people's stories and I love telling people's, but it's like, but then what do you do when your kid gets sick and you're a business owner and there are no days off, or you have a baby and you don't get a maternity leave because you're a business owner? It's
Yeah.
it's that balance. It's a balance.
Okay, let's dive into two of those things because neither of those have been talked about on the podcast yet. And I think this is something that so many of us struggle with as business owners, like what you said, right? Like that your words, that it was stupid that you went back for a C, like right after a C-section. But at the same exact time, in my mind, my first thought was, well, you have a little bit of PTSD of not going back after.
Yeah.
So, like, that also definitely played a part. Like, you also built this baby of a business, and you're like, hold on, like, I know what happened the last time I didn't go back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that also definitely played a part. But now I want to shift. So let's talk about moms in business with maternity leave for a second, because I think that we're going to start with that one because that is something that I think so many of us struggle with. So my background is I was a teacher and I was supposed to go back and we did not plan our third, but our third happened and I didn't have to go back. And so I was still able to build my business that I was doing. And like you said, there's no maternity leave. Like, what is the maternity leave? It was 2 weeks of, I had a C-section too, and it was 2 weeks of, and then all of a sudden back on calls. So luckily for mine, it was Zooms. So you didn't see, but here I am like rocking my 2 week old, like just in my lap or like next to me as I'm continuing building this business from the ground up with a friend of mine. Now, how do you shift it? How do we help these moms who are doing the same exact thing? What advice would you give them? Not be crazy like us.
It I thank the universe for my husband.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. That same story, like our third, she's love her, and it just didn't. We weren't planning for that, and so it was a bad pregnancy, and like all the things that could have gone wrong went wrong, and I'm at like the peak of what I can do at that moment, and he is always set. I mean, it's a little crazy to be married to a theater person, like you got to be a certain kind of man. And honestly, to be married to somebody, like, I don't know if this comes up ever, but like I'm strong, right? And I know what I need to do, and I need to not be home. I have to be at rehearsal, and I'm gonna plan dinner, but like I gotta go. You gotta cook it, but And so he's like, he's incredibly supportive. I brought my other kids with me to stuff, which again, like I wish I could say in the moment it's going to feel great. I think there's a survival mode part of
Yeah.
it that you go into, right? And I think what I try to remind myself of is that this is just this season, right? Like this is just this wave right now. And even if it doesn't feel so great and I'm doing the best that I can, that's really all that anybody around me can ask for, and a gift that I can give myself. I'm just doing the best that I can to get through this moment. I had a lot of guilt with my other kids about my first one. I was home with her. So I'm like, you don't get to complain. But, my other two, I was running my business, and I have a lot of guilt about not being around the way that I might have wanted to. So I think, like, to answer your question, it's to have a support system. I'm a big I'm a coffee drinker, and
Same.
Starbucks is like there's a Starbucks near us that I go to. I go there every day, and they are my people. I pay them to be my friends. They are they it's just and they're happy to see me. There's no emotional attachment to it, but like that's how I start my day. I start my day with even if after drop off it was really hard and everybody's crying or whatever, I go to Starbucks and it's like my cheers. Like they are happy. Where's Tova? Is she all right? It's great. And then I can go into my day. So I think like having a routine and having a support system if you can. And not everybody has that. And I think it's just trying to think about it in terms of this is just a moment and it's going to pass and you're going to get through it and it's not going to last forever. And then you have an opportunity. I'm a big reflective practitioner, right? Like finding a time to pause and think about what worked and what didn't work because the
Mhm.
truth is you're going to end up in the situation again or you're going to end up having a conversation with somebody later on that it'll make you think of new ideas and so on. So just trying to grow and evolve. I don't know if that answers the
No, it
question.
does. I'm also thinking in my head too. So, like everybody at this point, if you're new here, welcome. We're so excited that you're listening. But everybody else at this point knows that there is a free money hungry mama community. So if you don't have support at home and you need people to lean on,
Yes.
all of us are in it together. We share, everything. So please feel like you can join us and talk about your business and get help. Like this is community over competition always.
Yes, I
Always.
love that. I love that. I love that. You should put that on a t-shirt.
Merch coming soon. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, maybe who knows? But I think it's so funny. I actually did make one, but anyway, no, I think it's so funny because I've made it for myself.
You should totally do that.
Don't tell me the good time I made it by myself, and I wear it around, and I'm like,
I love it.
"This is
But when
my
you
merch,
remove
and it's
the
just for me."
competition aspect of it, it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I can cry because it's okay because you're
Yeah,
going through it too. And we might not have a solution
100%.
to it right now, but just feeling like you're not alone makes the biggest difference.
It
So
absolutely does, and it's so funny because tomorrow is our first ever what's today, Tuesday? Yeah. Tomorrow, March 25th, is our first ever free networking Zoom. So my community is completely free. It's all on an app. Everybody can join and talk. Tova is going to be in it. And tomorrow's the first networking event. And with that, the first thing I'm going to say is, when you're getting grouped into the different rooms, because we have at this moment, there's 53 moms already in this community that we started last week, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And for all the moms that are coming, it's going to be a networking night and you're going to meet different moms every single week. And some might be doing something similar to you. But the best part about it is that it's collaboration over competition. There's billions of people in this world. There is enough for everybody. And maybe you guys can bounce ideas off of each other. Maybe you can like be your own support system of what you're doing. Like I just think it's such a beautiful space to be just a lovely, genuine human, right? Like that's just what it is. But what I was gonna say was that I was thinking about is let's say this is something that I don't know where I got it from, and I wish I remember because I would give this person credit or whatever I saw it from. Finding a mom friend in your community that is doing some sort of business that has a baby too, and then you guys work together. So 1 hour she's watching and you're getting work done. Another hour you are watching and she's getting work done. And you guys are still in the same space, but you're helping each other and you don't have to pay for it.
yes.
Right? Because it's a handoff situation. I thought this was the most genius thing I've ever seen. And like the coolest thing about the Money Hungry Mama Network, we already have moms in. This morning I let somebody in from West Virginia, Connecticut, Florida, California, New Jersey, like Rhode Island. They're all over the US. Like you can come join and be like, hey, is anybody close to this area and want to do that crazy idea Brittany says of like watch and work, watch and work? I think it's just such a brilliant idea, especially when you're building a business. And I don't know about wherever you guys are located, but me and Tova can tell you, New Jersey, babysitting is no joke. Like the price of it, it's like, why am I even working? Like,
I
why am I doing this to myself? It's a
it's so
wild time.
yeah.
But like to have a system like this while you're building is huge. Huge.
Yes, and I think that, like, that all goes back to your idea about not having competition, right? Like, I think that people are afraid that if they share their business model or that if they, like if they come humble, like, or come clean, like, just, like, they're transparent, that, like, there's a And I think also sometimes moms feel like they're being judged, right? Like, I have this new baby. Can you watch it so I can go to work? But at the same time, it's like, how do I buy formula if I don't go to work to feed my baby?
Mhm.
Right? Like the circle keeps turning. And so just finding like minded people that you feel supported in the community and not the competition, I think is, yeah, that's so smart. So
Because
smart.
to me, there's such a beautiful network here in the Money Hungry Mama community because I'm buying from everybody. So, like, right now, I'm on the tour and we're doing the event where mompreneurs are there and, they're set up and they're telling their stories. And it's just like watching everybody purchase from each other. I had two of them. The first event we ever did now did a collaboration and it's an incredible collaboration. It's LML Beats for everybody listening and Feel and Wonder Sensory. And they're making for small businesses a keychain wristlet and their QR code of whatever they want on a, like, 3D printed business sign. It's, like, the coolest thing. I'm not doing it
Yeah.
justice. Come look at my page. It's there. I bought one. And it's, like it's so cool, and it's just, like, collaboration over competition always because you can learn so many crazy things from different businesses. Like, me and Tova, completely different businesses. I've never been into theater before, but I'm gonna ask her a marketing question, and her marketing is gonna be the same exact, if not, like, a completely cool new way to try for my own marketing. So
Percent.
that's just like something to think about too as you guys are growing. Nothing should ever be a competition. It should always be a collaboration.
Agreed.
I'm getting off my pedestal now. Now, I want to talk about kids being sick because my gosh, New Jersey, like we literally were just talking about it. It was like 80 degrees and then it was snowing and it's just been nonstop. It's like, and then we both have three. I have three, and it's like one gets it, and then 2 days later the other one comes. It's never
Yeah.
the same time.
Yeah.
Never
Nope.
the same time.
Nope. Nope.
Any tips and tricks about the sickness? I was like, no, I don't have any.
So, if anyone else does, please share publicly.
Tag us.
Please. I will support you. We just do a lot of preemptive. I don't even know if it works. Like, my kids happen to have, like, my son has a lot of health issues. Like, we see specialists for, it's no joke. I mean, I feel like I spend half my time doing theater and the other half driving him to different, like, he's in OT and PT and speech, and he's not on the spectrum, but he is neurodivergent, and so that sucks up, that's separate from the, I got to take you to the pediatrician because you have strep, right, or you have an ear infection or
100%.
whatever it is, or let's go to urgent care because you can't breathe. Like, there's constantly, here's what I will say. I don't have a solution to the sick thing because I don't get sick days, but I have a really great teaching artist team. Found over at the beginning when I was working independently as a teaching artist that when I would need to call out or reschedule because one of my kids was sick, not because I was sick, but because I didn't have coverage for my kids, that's where like my mommy guilt kicked in, but on the business side
Mhm.
all about my reputation. That's really all. I care about putting good energy into the universe, and I think if you do that, it comes back. So now I'm calling out and I'm not even sick, and how often am I going to do this and so on. So working independently, that was hard. But now I have a great team, and so I'm usually, any of the moms that are on the team are partnered usually with a teaching artist that either is also a mom so they can tag team with each other, or not, so that if something happens in our personal lives, someone else can step into that role. And now when my kids get sick, I feel a little less, I mean, I still feel stressed, but I feel like the business part of it is the band-aids on, as opposed to like the situation hemorrhaging and I'm going, well, there's nothing I can do about it but fix this later. So having like a partner or an assistant or an intern, we get interns from Rutgers now. I'm like, you guys are gold. I love interns. Come one, come all. Like, this is great because they just want to learn. And it's someone that I can trust to step in if I have a medical emergency in my family. So, that idea again of community, and you never know, like, if someone, I have a friend who lives across the street actually, and when she had her kid, she was unemployed. And so, like you were saying, I was like, could you make flyers for me? I'm really bad. I'll pay you to make a flyer. Just like, you don't know what skills people have, and you don't know until you ask, and you can't ask until you
100%.
meet them, and you can't meet them until you have a community like this. So it's great to just keep talking to people. And we take allergy medication. That's supposed to help, right? I don't. sinus rinses. It doesn't
Yeah.
work. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
I think a couple things that have so my first 2, I didn't do this, but my 3rd, I did it and I noticed a massive decline in how long it takes. You
Mm,
guys are gonna be like, "Brittany, what are you giving your children?" And honestly, he was so stuffed and like it was in his chest, it was in his nose, it was everywhere, like so much mucus. And I looked online and it was like honey. I'm like, he's not gonna drink tea with honey. So what did I do? I put honey with warm water. And I started it right when he could have honey, and I promise you, it literally cut it down by days. Like, when the other 2 are still kind of lingering, he's done, but they won't drink it. And I'm like, there is something in that honey that, like, helps all the mucus and the cleaning. Obviously, like, the warm baths, we got the what is it called? It's like the oil essential oils, and we
mm,
put it in the tub so they can help them breathe. I
yeah.
use Vicks. I know some people are against it. I put the Vicks on the chest and the back. And honestly, like, all of those little remedies have knocked it down a couple of days for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
One more
Also,
time.
like, the
Okay.
steam, like,
Yeah.
actors use that, right, to keep everything moist, so we have, like you guys are not professional actors, I love you so much, but they're
Yeah.
walking around like they are, right, like, with the steam over their face, and yeah, and the honey is great, absolutely, or, like, lemon and
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love it, that's so funny. But, like, as far as, like, sick days go, I think, especially doing this, like, I will say there was a time where my kids were really, really sick, right? And I messaged somebody that was not gonna be a mom, that was actually gonna be on the podcast because I thought that she could teach us something. And I was like, "I'm so sorry, like, I have to reschedule." We never rescheduled because, like, she didn't get that you reschedule
Yeah,
when your kids are sick.
yeah.
And I think that's something that sometimes when you're in this space and you're building a business, that not everybody's gonna get, which is like a wild concept. But if you've never made one of these tiny little humans, like you don't know what it's like to have to do everything for them. So like you gotta chalk it up to that too. But I think in general, like taking a sick day, it's so hard to say, but having like a teacher, like having a substitute plan in place, like
Yes, exactly.
so
Yeah.
you could do it with this mind-free notion. And if it's like making product, then it's like, hey, $5 off your next order, whatever it is, right? Like just having a little substitute plan in place of like being sick and whatever. But
And I think being creative, right? Like, I think that it's a really great there's a lot of benefit that comes to running your own business because the truth is you do have the flexibility to create the universe the way that you want it to. And so even when someone's coming at you with a no or you need to show up no matter what or whatever, it's like, okay, well, let's get creative everyone. Like let's try and figure out a way that this works. Now, my inner monologue is like I'm always saying like I'm calm and cool, but in my head there's this really loud screaming going on all the time. I'm like, "Ah," right? But that's something that I just have to balance out, right? That it might not feel good. Again, it might not feel good at the time, but if you can just find a way to grow from each circumstance and to like give yourself grace because you are raising you are raising other human beings that you want to be. I'm constantly thinking about like are, what kind of adults are they going to be? Because that's the
yeah,
goal, right? Are we gonna be nice people at the end of the day? Because, like, my 7-year-old's struggling. I'm like, well, if I were home more, would she not be struggling? I don't know. I won't know till later, right? But it just taking that pressure off of myself of like I'm showing up for them, you know, in every way that I possibly can. And I'm busting my butt to make money for my family in a job that I love to do. And at the end of the day, that'll be rewarding. And when roadblocks come up, I have to like pause and get creative.
yeah,
And I think that that's the job of a boss too. Like my teaching artists sometimes, and this new generation of young people, it's very like, I'm not coming today. Bye. And it's
yeah.
like, I'm sorry, why? Like, why are you not coming to work today? Like, is everything, I don't feel like it. What?
That's gonna change very soon, very quickly.
Yeah, yeah, but I think, like, having a work environment where you don't feel that stress and you feel like you can, under the right circumstances, call out, then, it just makes it easier in the long run, so, relieving that pressure.
100%. Oh my gosh, it's so true. It's so true. So, one of the questions I always want to get to at least is I mean, we're dropping so many nuggets that like we've never dropped before on here, but one of the questions I always want to talk about is marketing. I think it's one of the biggest struggles that any new business has. So, when you were getting yourself out there compared to now, what does your marketing look like that you're like, you should absolutely try this?
Yeah. I think you are your product, right? And so people are going to either buy your product or sign up for your product or whatever based on the experience that they have with you. So whether you're selling something or whether it's something tangible or it's a business, all of my work at the beginning of my career was all we want fresh theater arts because we want Tova. Right. And I think that, and that's not to go like, I don't like to, I'm not tooting
Yeah,
my
yeah.
own
No, you're
horn,
right though.
to go that like, if you make a personal connection with someone, if you make a personal connection with a child where they feel valuable, the parents are going to see the payoff of that. And then the challenge is like, how do you expand from there? Because I am only one person. And so how do we make the Tova Halpern Fresh Theater Arts model, go on to the other teaching artists? And at the same time, it's like, well, they all have their skills that I don't have too, and I want to learn from them and so on. I would say that and you know what? I'm going to age myself a little bit. There was no Instagram when I started my business, right? There was only Facebook, right? Like Instagram was not a thing yet,
A
right?
second. When did Instagram start then?
I think it's like
I'm
a
looking it up.
10-year,
I'm
12.
Googling
I
it as we're
can look it
talking.
up. Yeah, but and oh my gosh, I would be so embarrassed if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that
2010.
yeah, so my daughter was born in 2010. I didn't start my business until 2020. Oh, so I'm getting this wrong. Okay, maybe Instagram wasn't like a big thing
Yeah,
then.
no. It definitely was, like, photos back in the day when
Yes,
I first
yeah,
started.
like,
It
it
was, like,
wasn't used like how the
professional
Kardashians use
photos.
it now. There were no influencers,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Like, it wasn't now it's like
it's
Instagram is
different.
the place to be with all of this stuff. It wasn't like that. Like, people still use Facebook, and it's now for, like, old people, right? And so
I love me some Facebook.
I love Facebook, but oh my god, my teaching artists that come in that are in their 20s, they're like, "I'm not on that. My parents are on that." I'm like, "Mhm, mhm."
Well, you know what? You should be on it because it's great.
An account because I need it. So I think that and then look, I mean, for me personally, like our connections are with kids. Kids are not on social media. Right.
100%.
And so our marketing plan is very strategic in the sense that we need to connect with parents on a level that is personal to them, but we can't share necessarily pictures of their kids. Right. And so we do a lot of direct marketing. And so once we've built a community and we've built that team, like whether it's that show or that after school program, whatever, they get added to a mailing list. I'm constantly checking in with certain families because everything is it's our by reputation, right? So if people are having a good experience with us, then they'll go and tell. I also started my side hustle is it's really silly. I'm a bat mitzvah DJ also.
I cannot believe you just said that was silly. We don't say silly in here. Everything is so fun. That's so
Yeah.
fun.
I say it's silly in the sense that like it started as like, can you come to my daughter's bat mitzvah? And I was like, yeah. And then I had the best time. And I was like, oh, can I do another one? Can you please hire me to do another one? It was just, and again, like it was an opportunity and I took the opportunity and it's grown and it's not like a main point of the business revenue, but it is something that brings us a lot of joy. So, I'm a DJ and an MC and I bring on dancers and like we bring the party and it's great. And so we're marketing that a little bit differently than we are like the after school performing arts programs.
How
Uh,
fun is
yeah.
that? Why didn't
Yeah.
we get a
Yeah.
DJ at our presence? That's so fun.
A DJ Tova, although I don't really have a name. I'm just like, just hire me. It's fine. But yeah, so I think also like using I will say what's worked lately is the feature on Instagram, the collaboration feature.
Yeah.
That gets us seen a lot more than we were before. So anybody that you can collaborate with, and again, that's about community and that's about connection and trust, right? Because not everybody's going to want to buy in to whatever it is that you're trying to promote. But once you have that trust there, collaborating on stuff, because then it's your view, it's your people, it's my people, it's any of the people in the sphere of your people and my people. And then your outreach is a little bit deeper in terms of like the social media stuff. So I said definitely using the collaboration part.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, for sure. And what I want everybody to hear, and I feel like I could hear you guys groaning when I say it. Like I know I hear it in the back of my mind, is the direct marketing. Like, I do think there was a time for social media marketing, and there still can be, right? Like, there's still a chance to go viral, but, it's putting in a lot of work to social media. I don't think ads work the way that they used to. I really don't. I think it actually attracts a lot of bots. It is the direct marketing of getting on your 2 feet and walking somewhere and introducing yourself and making that connection and talking, and that's why I think it's so important to really have your pitch down.
Yes.
Like, come and practice that at our free networking because I'm the first one to be like, "Oh, let's tighten that." Like, you have 30 seconds to really wow somebody, and if you take anything from today's episode, I hope it's you're gonna practice your pitch because you have 30 seconds to hook somebody's attention. What are you saying about your business? Like, that is gonna be something that I really hope that you guys practice and get down because it's such a nuanced way that you wanna make it like, this is something really cool, but at the same exact time, I'm not, like, throwing it at you. Like, you have to find that certain way about it. So, good luck.
Yeah.
Come and tell us what it is. But no, I think that what you like you said is so beautiful because even though you've been doing this business for so long, your main form and also guys listening to it's also because of what her business is, right? Like her business is a service-based business. It's physical in the community. It's all those things. That's definitely also why hers is absolutely working. But think about mine. Mine is completely online. Everything about the Money Hungry Mama is online. The book is coming out, is going to be everywhere. I'm still doing foot to ground networking in these different states, right? That's what this whole book tour is about. So even though you might be online, you might want to take a little bit of an insane approach to like myself and like go and make these connections.
Yeah, I would also say, like, confidence is key, right? Like, no
Mhm.
one is going to care about your business the way that
100%.
you care about your business. My husband doesn't care about my business the way that I care, and he
Yes,
loves
for me.
no, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I say that to my teaching artists also, like, it's like your baby, right? Like, I
Yes.
will lay down I have worked so hard for this, no one's gonna stop me. Until I
100%.
decide that it's my choice, right? And so if you are your product and the energy that I get from you makes me wanna buy your book, which I'm going to, and makes me want right? And makes me wanna have conversations with you, and I'm open to learning something, that's about what you've set up and your confidence coming to the table. And I think for some people that's hard, like, and so practicing your pitch, like you said, and like what happens when you come up against someone that's like, okay, no, bye. No, bye. No, no, let's try this again. Can I try again? Here's my other 30 seconds. Like,
Yeah.
let's try a different approach. Just like, don't give up. Like,
Yeah.
don't it's very easy to feel discouraged and then coming home to your crying baby. Like you don't transition. Like sometimes I'm literally in my office right now that's in my house. I open the door and I go into the next, thing that's happening in my head. There's no transition from work to home life. It's opening a door, right? And so
100%.
just like it's okay. Just keep going. Keep going.
100%. And also to that point, I've actually been thinking about it myself lately. Like, my 2 oldest are in school all day, and then my youngest, he does go for a couple of hours somewhere, right? Because mama's gotta get stuff done. I was actually thinking of, like, going to a coffee shop or going to, somewhere just to not see the mess on the floor, the dishes that need to be done if they still need to, or, like, dinner that needs to be done. It's just like you walk out and you're like, "Okay, wait, hold on. I can do work in a second." No, 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 no. Like, finding and if it is an office in your house, then that being your space, right? That you make it something that's really sweet to go into and that you really enjoy walking into because I literally was just talking about this today. I love how these episodes, like, go into what I literally was just thinking about. Like, literally today, I said to my husband, "I think I'm gonna start going to, like, a coffee house for, like, 2 hours
Yeah.
just to bang out some stuff." And it's so funny because it's so true, but let's say you're working with the other mom, right? Just make that, like, space that you guys are working in. Make sure that you have your earphones in, so if somebody is crying, you're not, like, needing to feel the stress of going to do that. That's why you're there to help each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it's just making your space.
You could pay the baristas at Starbucks to be your friends like I do. So, that's that's a business too. Transactional, it's fine. You make me feel good. I just pay you to do it. It's okay.
I love it so much. Oh my gosh. Tova, my favorite question. What does being a money hungry mama mean to you?
I was thinking about this last night, and I think that what is so special about the community that you're providing, like, I wish I had had this when I had my first, right? Like, I felt I was also, like, the first of my friends to have a kid. I felt very alone, and I had been fired from a job, and my husband's going
Yeah.
to work, and I was at home in cold New Jersey. I really do like New Jersey, don't take it wrong. But, like, the weather in winters, that's rough, like, to be
Yeah.
alone with a colicky,
Seasonal
screaming
depression.
baby, and you've been fired from your job, and you don't even know what postpartum depression is because you've never had a postpartum before, and people weren't talking about things the way that they are now, and so I wish I had had what you are offering back then, and I think what's so special is feeling like you're a part of something, because whether you're having a good day or you're having a bad day, just having a community to go to. And sometimes it's like, I just said this to my assistant yesterday because he was directing a show and he's like, I should have called you because I just needed somebody to make me feel not crazy. Right? Because
Mhm.
sometimes if you're running a team and everybody seems to be thinking one way and you're thinking another way, and there's no one on your level to bounce things off of, it affects like how you run your business and how you then come home at the end of the day and have so just having this community that is a part of your life and on the outside of your life and on the inside of your life all at the same time. I just think it's really special what you have to offer. And I hope that everybody takes advantage of it too, because, once you're in and the connections that you've made, they have the potential to be lifelong connections and it could really help you.
For
So,
sure. I'm telling you right now, some of my best friends in the whole entire world I've never met in person.
yeah.
Like, they're literally just social media humans, which is a wild thought, and I know, like, hearing that could somehow, like, make you be like, "Oh my gosh, like, really?" But no, it's, like, true. I've been doing this for 10 years, and somebody I met 10 years ago, we still talk all the time, and I
Yeah.
think it's just such a funny concept, but it's so true, like, being in a room with like-minded people, like, that's why this exists because it's something that I wish that I had, is just something that you know, it's gonna be beautiful, and we just hope that you guys take advantage and you join and know that you're not alone because it really stunk to feel alone.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. 100%. So I'm really appreciative of you. I'm so glad that we connected and that we were able to do this.
I'm so appreciative of you and your story. How cool is hearing all of these jobs that I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like, somebody really did that work." Like, somebody really was Anne Hathaway. Like, that's
Listen, hire theater kids. I'm telling you, like we say, they can do anything. You need them to sew, they'll sew. You need them to write up a contract, they can write up a contract. Like you need these kids, it's just when you're like open to the universe and you're not just looking at things one way and you can be creative, you can give yourself permission to be creative and to think out of the box, even if the universe is going, no, we want you to do it this way. Well, sorry, universe, here's my 30-second pitch, turned into whatever, right? Like, just, yeah, I think. And it definitely feels validating when you can surround yourself with people who are like-minded like that. You were saying before, sometimes I talk to people and I get the impression that they think I'm crazy. And I'm like, okay, I'm not your cup of tea. It's okay. I don't know what to tell. Sounds like a you problem, not a me problem. I'll
so
go
true.
find someone who speaks theater. And that's it. So, yeah.
It's so true. It's so true. But it's so funny because actually we were just at the book tour event and right next to us there was a cornhole competition place. Like it does nothing else but cornhole competitions all the time. And I was like, wow, like there really is a community for everything. I would have never thought there could be a brick and mortar cornhole place, but I was wrong. Like that place was bopping. And I'm like, wow, there really is. Like, think of all like the underground vampire clubs and like there is if you guys are into something, I promise you it exists. And it's not weird. Like I promise you whatever thing that you might be into and I'm not even going to throw things out that I think are weird, but it exists. It
Yeah.
exists.
And don't be afraid, right? Like I think speaking up and you never know what's going to resonate with somebody and like
100%.
and being an active listener also, like, I think that people miss that part of conversations, right? That, like, I'm not just thinking about what to respond to what you're saying while you're saying what you're saying, but like I'm actually absorbing and taking in. Like we do that a lot with our improv classes, right? Like it has to be, I'm hearing you and now I'm going to respond. And so it's just going into these conversations, being an active participant, not just with what you're going to contribute, but also how you're going to process because people's stories matter and everyone's brave enough, if you're brave enough to be able to share your story and connect with people on another level, then good for you. We want to be able to support that, so being an active listener, and I think that that's a great skill as well. So
100%, 100%. I think it's definitely, I saw this meme recently and was like, if you want a village, be a villager.
yes,
And no truer words have been spoken. Like, I think that is something that we forget. We want for ourselves all the time, but it's like, well, what did you do to help somebody else today?
yeah, yeah,
And I think that's such like a beautiful reminder.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Tova, how can our listeners support you?
Ooh, follow Fresh Theater Arts on Instagram.
Love it.
Are interested in bringing a performing arts program to your community, please reach out. All of the information is on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook because people use Facebook. So you can find it on Facebook. You can go to our website, freshtheaterarts.com. We provide birthday parties and Broadway artists and just experience to make you and your family feel good about, any part of your life that you're at right now. And yeah, so follow us on Instagram.
I love it. And for everybody listening, just also like you can bring a flyer to your school or anything to just kind of bring it out there if you want to see your little one doing a little bit of theater.
Yeah.
Tova, thank you so much for being here today.
No, thank you so much, Brittany. You're the best. Thank you, everybody.